Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I think moving forward, don't expect 2 videos from me a week because honestly that's a lot. So definitely expect 1 video from me a week, potentially every Wednesday, and if you're lucky or if I'm like feeling up to it, you might get a video on a Sunday. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Teddy G, and on this channel I like to dive into what it's truly like to run a clothing brand, as well as drop in tips, tricks, gems and all of that good stuff. And please guys, look at the mess in my office right now. Like I am in the middle of sorting it out for the Blanks brand that I'm going to be starting, which is incredibly exciting. Right now, just a little quick update, we are at the stage where he's woven the fabric, but the fabric is still not at the weight that I want it to be at, so we're still kind of sort of like going back and forth right now, trying to get that weight right. And once we do, we'll be full throttle getting those blanks manufactured for you guys. So that's a little quick update on the Blanks brand. I will have it linked in my description, so if you want to sign up to be on the email list. So exciting. But as for this video, I just wanted to talk about Alibaba because I feel like I haven't spoken about Alibaba in quite a while, and I just wanted to share with you some of my top tips for using Alibaba.com, because honestly, even still to this day, it is a platform that I actively use. I go on it, I enjoy using the platform. It has absolutely everything. So I wanted to share with you guys some of my top tips for using Alibaba.com to source bits and bobs for your clothing brand. I have some notes on my phone that I wrote down for this video, so I'm just opening them up. And for those of you that don't know what Alibaba.com is, it is basically a hub, a business-to-business hub where you can find suppliers for pretty much anything. So this video is definitely going to be transferable because it's not just for clothing brands, it is definitely for majority businesses. You will definitely find a use for Alibaba.com. So my first tip is make sure you make sure you use trade assurance suppliers only. Now with trade assurance suppliers, you are protected by trade assurance on Alibaba, which means that if anything goes wrong when it comes to your order, you will potentially get a full refund for that order, so long the supplier is a trade assurance supplier. So that is definitely a major key. You definitely need to be working with trade assurance suppliers only. Try and also use verified gold suppliers too. This is not as important as using a trade assurance supplier, but it's definitely high on the list. So definitely try and look for those suppliers, because again, it just adds that layer of protection. You know you are working with like a good supplier. Now one thing I know is that a lot of people get super overwhelmed with Alibaba as a platform as a whole, and one thing I always try and advise people is that you narrow down your search as much as possible in order to not get overwhelmed by thousands of results when you're looking for something. So when I'm talking narrow it down, I'm talking, okay, so you're looking for a t-shirt for your clothing brand, you're going to type in the GSM of the t-shirt that you're looking for, and you're going to narrow down, you know, how many pieces you want. So the minimum order quantity that you're sort of like looking at, you're going to want to narrow that down as well. You're going to want to narrow down like what countries you're looking at, even though the majority of the suppliers on Alibaba.com are from China, but you can find other countries on there as well. So you could choose to narrow it down that way as well should you want to. So narrowing down your search right down to the quantity would definitely help with the overwhelming feeling of using Alibaba.com as a platform. Now this next tip is incredibly important, especially if you want to take advantage of that trade assurance and say if anything goes wrong you are able to claim your money back, and that is being as specific as possible when it comes to placing your order. For a clothing brand, that means using something like a tech pack. I'm gonna have a complete tech pack guide linked in the description, just in case you want to start creating your own tech packs, but they're really important to create. And the reason why you need to get as specific as possible is because when you now need to dispute the order, hopefully you don't, but if you do, you need to have something like a document that you can be like, okay, boom, the manufacturer said that they were going to produce this t-shirt with a sleeve length of 10 centimeters, but actually the sleeve length that I've received is 15 centimeters. And you can show Alibaba the fact that, you know, I actually specified this in my tech pack and this supplier has failed to follow that. That alone will help you get the refund you need. So try and be as specific as possible when it comes to placing your order on the platform. So touching on getting as specific as possible, say you are a clothing brand, so it's kind of catered towards clothing brand because, you know, that's the industry that I am in. But if you have produced a tech pack for your clothing brand, try and make sure that you have attached that to your trade assurance order as well, just so that all of the evidence is completely there. This is just to protect you in the event that you have accidentally stumbled upon a supplier that isn't very good. You can claim that money back, because the thing with Alibaba is, you know, I always get asked, you know, is Alibaba a scam? It's not, but you can get, you know, bamboozled by some of the suppliers on there, and obviously it is then your primary goal to try and get your money back from Alibaba, and the only way Alibaba can help you is if you are specific about what it is that you want. Naturally, Alibaba, you know, is not going to want to give you back your money, because that means they're sort of losing out on whatever percentage they take. So if you have like all of the evidence and stuff there, they can't refuse your claim. And touching on that trade assurance order, when you place an order on Alibaba, before you even make the payment, you are actually able to read that contract between you and the supplier. So make sure you take time and read that contract and make sure it's highlighting everything you've discussed, everything you've agreed, and it's all in there, and the terms and conditions are all there and you're happy with them before you make that payment. Make sure you're paying close attention to your shipping terms, and I would suggest just going for door-to-door shipping. Like organizing shipping yourself, like I just feel like it's overly complicated. So try and work out a deal with the supplier to organize shipping for you. It might be slightly more expensive, but at least you know that, you know, that side of things is all sorted out for you. And even adding on to that, if you're in a country or you've placed an order where you are due to pay customs on that order, again, try and discuss this with your supplier in order for them to cover the cost of customs before shipping it to you, so that you don't get a surprise bill from FedEx asking you to pay customs on whatever it is that you've had shipped to you. Another major thing is make sure you're allowing enough time for shipping. I'll give you a little story time. I had these boxes shipped to me from Alibaba, from a supplier from Alibaba, and I opted for sea shipping, and honestly guys, they said it would take 90 days. It did not take 90 days. It took longer than that, because I ended up not having these boxes for an event that I was hosting for my clothing brand, which was really upsetting. Even though I had allowed the amount of time that they said it would take, you know, add another 30 days to that. Like, allow enough time for shipping and just relax, because honestly, if you're shipping via sea, it can take a very long time. A big thing, which is probably one of the most important things, is make sure you're getting samples for every single thing you want to order from that supplier. Get a sample and be absolutely happy with that sample before you go ahead and place that bulk order, because that is going to be the chance that you get to see the quality of the product or the garment that that particular supplier is going to supply you with. And to be honest guys, even after you've done all of that, you've done your due diligence, there still can be a chance that, you know, things go haywire, but at least you have done your best, you have done your due diligence to ensure that you are getting the product that you want. Oh, this is a big one. Make sure you keep all of your communication on the Alibaba platform. You might come across some dodgy suppliers that say, oh, let's talk on WhatsApp, or let's talk on email, or blah blah. Don't do it. Keep all of your communication on Alibaba. One thing I will say is that sometimes you do have to send a file that might be a bit too big to send on the Alibaba platform. That's the only time that you may need to email them directly. Like for me, for example, when I was producing the fabric for my silk set, I had to email them the fabric design because the file was just way too big for me to send on the platform. So that's the only time, but keep every single other communication right on that platform and don't let them tell you otherwise. Don't do it. Don't come off that platform. Don't do it. Tying into that, make sure, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but make sure you keep all of your payments and stuff in the Alibaba platform. So all the payments that you make to the suppliers, make sure it's on Alibaba. Don't send them Western Union or MoneyGram or whatever platform they might ask for. Don't do it. Keep it within Alibaba. Oh, this is a really interesting one, right? Avoid the suppliers that are just like, yes, I can do it. Yes, we can do it. Yes, this. Like, you want a supplier that's gonna be like, okay, so you want a t-shirt. What's the GSM of this t-shirt? How many do you want? What's the Pantone color? You want them to be asking you the right questions instead of just saying, yes, we could do it. Place the order. Yes, we can do it. Because those suppliers, they're like desperate. We don't want to work with desperate suppliers. No, honey. If you have a sample that you may want replicated, consider actually sending that physical sample directly to the supplier. Yes, you're gonna pay shipping costs and all of that stuff, but sometimes it's just easier for a supplier to just work off your sample. It just reduces the back and forth and all of that jazz. So definitely consider doing that. And lastly, but by no means least, negotiate those prices and negotiate those minimum order quantities. You might want 50 products and the supplier is saying 100. You can negotiate that, or at least try, because if you don't try, you will never know. So yeah, guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry that I am probably gonna reduce my content to 1 day a week, but it's just so that I can get a bit more of a balance going as opposed to just disappearing and just getting overwhelmed. So yeah, I'll be on here at least once a week. So yeah, please be sure to subscribe, like this video, share it to somebody that might need this information, and yeah, I will catch you guys in my very next video.